Saudi Arabia's big Yemen move. Why Riyadh called Yemeni factions for talks. Imagine a country destroyed by war. Millions of people struggling to survive. Years of fighting with no clear winner. And now, Saudi Arabia says, come to Riyadh, let's talk. Good evening. You are watching News Focus, delivering verified, truthful news at the fastest speed. Saudi Arabia has invited several Yemeni factions to Riyadh for political dialogue. This invitation is mainly focused on the situation in southern Yemen. Saudi officials say the purpose of this dialogue is to find fair and peaceful solutions to long-standing political disputes in the south. However, this move is not only about peace, it is also about strategy, influence, and regional stability. Yemen has been facing civil war for nearly 10 years. The conflict has destroyed infrastructure, weakened institutions, and caused one of the world's worst humanitarian crises. Inside Yemen, power is divided among three major forces. First, the Houthi movement. They control northern Yemen, including the capital Sana'a, and are widely seen as being supported by Iran. Second, the internationally recognized Yemeni government. This government has limited control on the ground and relies heavily on foreign support. Third, the Southern Transitional Council, also known as the STC. This group controls large parts of southern Yemen and wants to create an independent southern state. The STC is believed to have strong backing from the United Arab Emirates. The growing influence of the STC is a major concern for Saudi Arabia. The STC has openly talked about separation from Yemen and has suggested holding a future referendum on independence. If southern Yemen breaks away, Saudi Arabia fears the country will fragment further. A divided Yemen could create serious problems. It could weaken border security, strengthen armed groups, and increase Iranian influence in the region. For Saudi Arabia, stability in Yemen is directly linked to its own national security. That is why Saudi Arabia is now pushing for dialogue instead of military action. The Riyadh talks are meant to bring southern Yemeni factions together and prevent unilateral decisions. Saudi Arabia wants any political change to happen through negotiations, not force. Another important factor in this situation is the role of the United Arab Emirates. Saudi Arabia and the UAE were once close partners in Yemen. But today, their priorities are not exactly the same. Saudi Arabia supports a united Yemen. Groups backed by the UAE support greater autonomy or independence for the South. This difference has created quiet tension between the two allies. By hosting talks in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia is sending a clear message. It wants to remain the main decision-maker in Yemen's political future. It is important to note that the Houthi movement is not part of these talks. The dialogue is limited to southern political and armed factions. Negotiations with the Houthis are being handled separately. For ordinary Yemenis, the outcome of these talks is very important. If the dialogue succeeds, it could reduce fighting in southern Yemen and open the door to political stability. If it fails, Yemen could face another internal conflict, making the situation even worse. Saudi Arabia is also thinking about the bigger picture. The kingdom wants to reduce its involvement in a costly war, improve its international image, and focus on diplomacy. This shift from military pressure to political dialogue shows a major change in Saudi strategy. In the end, this is not just a meeting in Riyadh, it is a critical moment for Yemen and the wider Middle East. The decisions made during this dialogue could shape Yemen's future for many years to come. We'll keep tracking this story. Stay with News Focus for the latest updates.